You're not smart enough. You don't see the difference. There is a massive, clear difference.
You have spent weeks on we had an argument about the same thing. You spent weeks on this. You were going crazy talking about how buying items in games, now that I know it's games that you pay for, thank you for the clarification, but buying items in games is inherently wrong. Buying power was wrong, you said. Your words, you said it was wrong.
Yeah, but who said, nobody said anything about buying power. When it comes to, I've already said buying power in either game.
I'm not making this up.
I've already said this. Buying power in either game is wrong. It's bad in free-to-play. It's bad in pay-to-play as well.
But it's okay for Dust. It's okay
but we're not talking about buying power here. There's a difference between buying power and skipping ahead.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. No, yes, there is. A lot of these... The point is these guns are supposed to be side grades.
Little white lies versus lying. They're still lying.
No, they're not lying. They're supposed to... Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's just a little bit. It's not that bad.
The point of the fact is that these guns are supposed to be side grades. If they are actual flat-out upgrades, then the game is not balanced properly. This is what we said about the same thing about Call of Duty as well. If the gun is flat-out better, it is not properly balanced. If you are buying a 25% upgrade in power, then yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it is bad. It doesn't matter what model it is. Pay-to-play, free-to-play, it is bad.
Again, I just think we need some type of rule.
We already have this rule. You go watch my videos. It's very, very clear what my opinion is. Very clear. It's been the same for years. There are some games that don't do it properly, and there are some games that do. It's really as simple as that.
Okay. Clearly, we are going to agree to disagree on this one.
Let's go to the next trailer, shall we?
Yes, shall we?
Let's buy some power in SimCity. Let's do that.
Which one are we doing?
SimCity. Here we go.
Peggy 12.
Yes, 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 yes.
I don't get it.
What?
I was watching the video and reading chat, reading the messages, and we were just cracking up. Like,
there are some people that really don't know who I am. They really don't.
It was kind of amazing. But
did
that trailer actually say Maxis? Like, is this a legitimate thing?
Yeah, it's Maxis. It's legit.
Maxis. And it's all gameplay.
Bringing back the old school.
So the main problem with this one, by the way, that people are getting freaked out about is that you have to be online to play it. Because of this, like, oh, you know, cities are interconnected, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know about you, but when I like to play city building games, it's generally when my internet dies. That's a very useful time to play city builders. On a train, on a plane, while waiting for a bus, on a bus.
In a box with a fox?
In a box with a box.
I would not eat green eggs and ham.
No.
I would not eat them, Totalbiscuit Sam.
Well, essentially, buying green eggs and ham is the same as buying power, right? That's pretty much the same thing.
Yes, because you can't...
No, don't go back to
Oh, actually, do green eggs count as cosmetic items or direct power upgrade? Are green eggs a power upgrade?
You could dye it and still get the same effect, but buying it is a faster way.
Yeah, so you get faster access to the green eggs and ham, or you can dye them yourself, which takes more time. So this seems balanced, right?
So dying, so that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
But if I was playing if I was playing the Lorax, right, and I got my green eggs and ham in the Lorax for 25 cents, that's wrong?
You don't
'Cause he
have the
doesn't have
skill
eggs and ham?
to play the Lorax. You have to grind those skills out in order to unlock the Lorax initially.
This may be the greatest conversation we've ever had.
I'm gonna play Bubble Spinner until you guys are done.
I think the more important question about this whole debate, guys, is why can't we play as Katy Perry?
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Why
Yeah.
can't we play as Katy Perry? That's what I want to
Yeah.
know.
That's the
That's
armor.
so
That's the
true.
25-cent armor. It makes you look like
The
her.
armor makes you look like
Yes,
Katy Perry.
yes.
25
Actually,
cents
it's a cloaking device.
equals
Everyone
Katy
tries
Perry.
to kill you. Yeah, for 25 cents you can be Katy Perry, and then people will try to murder you. That's how they balance it. It makes sense. No wonder. You should have just said that, TV. It makes sense now.
And this whole online thing is kind of sad, really, because the
It
game
is.
looks great. It really does. It looks fantastic. And I don't want to support it for the same reason I wouldn't want to support anything that's just online only. It's dumb.
It's so dumb because when people try to make them justify it, their response is just, "Don't worry, it'll be worth it. We know it'll
No.
be worth it." And it's like, okay, I understand that you have a lot of options for the multiplayer that you're really excited about, and they do seem extremely cool, being able to share resources and everything. You have to have an offline way to play this game. It would be so easy. Don't
Well,
make it all
yeah.
online. I don't
Here-
get it.
Basically, they're using Blizzard logic. Here's the quote from a Kotaku article that's surprisingly good that was put out on June the 4th. And the development studio, the guy from Maxis, goes by the name of Kip. For whatever reason, he's called Kip.
He's a robot.
Kip Katsilarellis?
Kip.
I don't even know. He says, this is a multiplayer game. We're constantly tracking what you do. We consider single player to be multiplayer. We're feeding it back to the players. We're tracking who polluted the most or who's playing better. They're spawning challenges for players. They're keeping everyone connected. But it's okay, guys, because we won't repeat the mistakes of Diablo 3.
No, that's exactly
Right.
what they're going to do.
Exactly,
Like,
of course
there's
they
no
will.
getting around it.
If
That's
Blizzard
what will
can't do
That
it
is the
with
That's the
X
mistake.
number of years experience in multiplayer, then EA can't do it either. We got experience from Spore and Darkspore. Really, did you? What experience did you gather from those two things? Because last I checked, neither of those worked all that well.
Didn't
They both had like major DRM issues though.
Wasn't there a thing way back when, like a few years ago, where single player games, they had this like crazy technology where they would interact online and update the world around you in single player? So you'd have a city, like you could have a city next to you that was someone else's city, but it wasn't run by them. But the things they did would update over time and change the way the city.
Right.
Like, that's such a better freaking way to do this than be online all the time. Like,
Yeah,
that's just
it's smarter.
stupid.
That article makes it seem like they're just watching us as we play.
Yeah, they're talking about tracking every 2 minutes. Like, well, if you were single player, well, everything would go out of sync, and we wouldn't be able to track you. I don't want you tracking me. I just want to build a
Yeah.
city. What the hell's so wrong about that?
Just
It's a
leave
game.
me alone.
Let
I
us
just
have
wanna,
fun.
I just want to play. Leave me alone.
It
Don't
makes
watch
even
me while
less
I play.
sense than Diablo 3. Because at least with Diablo 3, there was something of a justification, being that, oh, well, people used to play Diablo in parties anyway. It's essentially a multiplayer game, even though, of course, that's not true at all. And loads of people either played it single player, played it online, or just played it with a group of friends over Hamachi or whatever, and never went outside of that group. That was the whole excuse for the auction house.
I think they actually have the stats up already, and more people have played Diablo 3 single player than any other way.
Of course they have. And bear in mind, this is after they made it really easy to play multiplayer. Like, you can jump onto a friend's game really easily. Annoyingly easy. Because sometimes you jump in, you start tracking, it's like, can you help me? You've jumped into my game and you've made all the monsters harder and now I'm dying. Can you stop chatting with me now and actually come help?
That is the worst.
It's infuriating.
That is my least favorite thing.
And it's that kind of stuff that's going to screw up SimCity, because what's going to happen is it's always fun when you make a city and you want to destroy your city. But when it's some other asshole and he destroys his city and his tornado comes over and destroys yours, you're going to be pissed off because you
Yeah.
worked really hard for that.
It's...
That's not cool.
Or
Yeah.
if you're sharing resources and they do something dumb to their city and suddenly, like, the way you planned everything out doesn't work anymore.
All credit to them.
Yeah.
This is interesting. What they're going to do is apparently the game's going to tolerate a certain amount of minutes of offline play if the connection drops. So that's certainly better than Diablo, without question.
Yeah.
But
Better than
good.
nothing.
yeah, I
But
guess.
then why? God damn, that's so dumb.
Why,
Why can't you just do it all the time?
Exactly.
offline?
That's what I
Why
was
can't it just
thinking.
update when I go back online? Why can that not be an optional thing? Why can I not opt out of this?
Stupid.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
part of some grand interconnected world. I want to have my city. My city is the only city I care about.
Or at least have it so I can connect with my friends' cities, and that's about it. Like, who cares about
Right?
going online? If I have a buddy list, sweet. That's the line. That's the world I'm connected to. I don't need random people's cities and stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst part is when we saw the very first trailer a while ago, a few episodes back, I was so excited for this game.
Yeah.
The possibility of like interconnected, that's what I thought it was going to be. Is your single player, but like cities are downloaded that people have created and they run on their own. So like
Yeah.
I could create a city kind of like Dragon's Dogma where I create a pawn and then someone else can find my pawn and add that to their party.
Mhm.
I don't mess with their game at all, but they just have the character I created with them.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was going to be. Like a
That's
city someone else created
non-intrusive.
is with you. Exactly.
And this is,
And this is
highly intrusive.
Yes.
not a fan.
Well,
We could do a good trailer.
yeah. We could.
Is it,
We've got one more game we could look at. That's not just
I think
always
there might
online.
be
Yeah.
a good one.
So this is by a company called Fat Shark. Fat Shark are awesome. They made Lead and Gold. They made Hamilton's Great Adventure, and they're also making War of the Roses. But they have just come out with this as well, which is kind of an old school action RPG, bit Falloutish, set in post-apocalyptic Sweden. It is Crater. It's out on Steam right now.
Apocalyptic Sweden.
Let's take a look.
Sunlight will betray you. Can't fight the reborn man. They said, better move, son. If you stay here, you're damned. Only death will set you free. Death will set you free. As you hang by the willow tree. Hang by the willow tree.
There you go, that's Crater, which is available for $15 over on Steam right now. Not that that trailer really told me a damn thing, but it looked nice.
I love the way the characters look in that game.
Yeah. I was just
they've
gonna say.
gone really crazy with them, and I'm a big fan of it.
Oh.
It reminds me of Rage turned up to 11.
Can you imagine being on that team of people and being told, guess what? You don't have to render or create any faces. It's all going to be masks. And they all just went,
Sneaky
yes!
bastard. Yeah, that's most likely the reason
That must
why.
have been the best.
But yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic old school RPG. It's got some RTS mechanics.
In Sweden.
It's a bit like Baldur's Gate, supposedly, just a little bit in real time.
That may be worth checking out. Yeah.
Like, I can tell you for a fact that
Yeah,
it's
it looks
only
good
just
to
come
me.
out of a testing phase. It's probably pretty buggy, but hopefully they'll get it fixed. I was actually talking to Martin from Fat Shark yesterday. They were saying there's a patch coming, I believe, tomorrow, which will fix a lot of the issues with it.
Then I'll buy it on Friday.
I'll give it a try.
I do like the Fat Shark intro, too. With the little shark and then cracking the glass. I thought that was that was cute.
I
That
just
was
want to
clever.
I just want to thank Edvin Hermanson, by the way, who sent me this extremely informative tweet that says "Crater means crater." By the way,
Oh, because it's in Sweden. Okay, I was
you
like,
don't
wait.
say.
What? I was like, wait, what is he trying to tell you? It's code. It's code. It's Bible
Guys.
code, which will stick in our game.
Hold up,
Angry
hold up,
God.
guys.
Coming soon. God is mad.
Looks all right.
God is mad.
Bible
God is, in
code.
fact, mad.
Crater is crater.
Amazing.
Is that it? Are we talking about trailers?
I think we're doing trailers. I think.
What about...
I think there's one more. I think there's one more I've been
What?
waiting for all day.
What trailer? What other one?
Oh yeah, there's one more.
There's one more.
What are you talking
and
about?
you missed it.
There are 3 trailers. There are always
No.
3 trailers.
Don't do this to me.
Don't do that. TB.
What other trailer? Don't tell me it's that goddamn subscribers one.
What?
No. Oh
No.
my God. I saw it the other day and started cracking up. No. This it's for I don't want to spoil it because I don't want to be a dick.
On the list of trailers,
I don't
it's the very
It's
first
the very
link.
first one.
I don't
The
have
very
this. I
first
only picked
link.
3 from
You
the list.
emailed it to us.
I was.
TB.
You want the Dishonored gameplay trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So,
Well, I can't give you that. I'm afraid because it's not
What?
loaded in.
You.
I'm so sorry. We do 3 trailers, not 4.
Well, if you would have spent the 25 cents to buy it, we could have been good. But you didn't.
Nope.
Instead,
I
you bought
didn't.
those green eggs and ham. Oh.
If you want to
Just
see the
like
Dishonored
it's
gameplay trailer, it's nice and easy to
Your
find.
friendship.
We'll-
That's
It's
what I-
great. It's wonderful. I was so excited to talk about that because it's kind of amazing.
Nope, it's
So-
not loaded in. I have no space on my XSplit for it either. All of my scenes are taken up, so there's nothing we can do about that. So people can check it out. It'll be in the description below this video if you happen to be watching. And we're not going to show you Halo 4. Are you freaking kidding me? Halo ceased to be relevant after the second one.
Oh snap!
Well, it's true. It's like, what? Oh, great, Halo. It's being made by a different company entirely. Finish the fight. Let's do another fight. Screw that.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
I
bro.
feel like I could fight again.
Or we could.
right now.
That's a great
That was the
argument, bro.
best-
Thank you for
That was
that.
the breast. That
That
was
was
the
breast.
breast.
Really.
That
That's
was
what they
the
need.
breast.
That's what they need. Give me Cortana. We're good. That was the breast part of that game.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Sorry.
Couldn't care less.
No.
Like, focus on a different IP, please. Really, Halo's not been interesting for a while.
So, now
So-
what?
Guys, hi.
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 We're doing
Hey,
topics.
Gerard.
Hey.
Gerard,
Hi.
you brought a topic
Yes.
with you, right?
I
You all
did I?
forgot, didn't you?
I brought a topic.
I didn't bring one. I'm
did.
so sorry. It totally.
Holy crap.
We've skipped it so many times. I totally
Oh.
forgot that it was a thing.
All right. Well, you've got
Topic.
till the end of Jesse's topic to come up with a topic of your own. Jesse, go.
Well, this is a good one that I like. So this week I was looking around the internet for reaction to E3 because, you know, we have our own reaction where we're like, nah. And I was looking at a lot of developers and industry people, and 90% of what they were saying was essentially along lines, I'm trying to find the direct quote, was the guy who, the founder of ID software.
Id. It is id.
Yeah, I know. And so, and he, like many other people, like the guys behind the Unreal Engine 4, all these stuff, basically said, we're moving past consoles. Consoles are old school. We're focusing on PCs from now on. Like, pretty much everyone was saying that the technology's old.
Of course it is.
Big companies like Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft aren't even spending the kind of money and time we want to see in the next gen, which has me really worried. And so they're like, screw it, we're just going to move on to PCs from now on. Like, and that's what a lot of people said. And I tweeted about that early in the week, and I just wanted to get, like, opinions from you guys, because I know I have a few major console players here right now. And, I mean, I've been complaining about the fact that the current generation's 7 years old as is, and, you know, sometimes games can't even play on an HD TV. I mean, there's just inherent problems with them being that old. And if next gen isn't going to be that great, what does this mean for console gaming?
Well, the thing which sparked all of this was an article that revealed that pretty much everything at E3 was the kind of the big name titles was actually being run on a PC and not being
Right.
run on a console.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
is inherently dishonest, I might add, to start with. Like, look at how amazing our game is. It's running on a PC. That it's not going to look like that on a 360 and PlayStation 3. What really worries me is the fact that we still don't have an announcement for 720 or PS4. It's ridiculous. And the Wii U looks only slightly meatier than a 360.
Right. Barely.
It's I don't blame developers for being more interested in PC at the moment. I certainly don't blame gamers for it either, because what we saw press conference-wise from Microsoft and from Nintendo was, look at all these other things you can do with our existing old hardware. Watch movies, watch sports, work out, blah, blah, blah. None of this is gaming-focused, because they're not advancing the hardware, they're broadening it. Which, this is what the Kinect and the Move are for. And I don't know why this is surprising people, because they said this 2 years ago, this is what they want to do. It's like, we don't want to make a new console now, it's too damn expensive. We want to broaden our existing one with add-ons, which was, funnily enough, what Sega used to do with the Genesis and the 32X and things like that. Didn't work for them, but apparently it's working out pretty well here.
Do you think it's because they're somewhere someone knows something big is coming down the line, they're waiting for that? Because, however time you buy a computer, within a year, there's something way better than what you bought. Do you think that they're waiting for the next big generation shift in technology before they release their consoles? Or are they just sitting on it because it's too expensive to produce a whole new generation?
Well, I think it's just too expensive. And they don't want to invest in it right now because they think, well, the games are still selling really well on old consoles. So why make a new one?
I mean, that's all there is. I mean, there is no...
I was going to say, because there aren't any options.
Yeah, the options are PS3, 360, Wii. That's it. And and the way that they control that is, like, developers will release stuff for PC, sure, but big games are still stuck on consoles, right? Like, and that's just how the system works. And so they keep PC players from getting it, even though we know for a fact they run, because as you said, most of those games that we played were played off of a computer. Like, computer hardware was running everything at E3. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty depressing just because it's like, I don't know if I'm the only one here, but I'm a huge console gamer. I grew up on consoles. I'm still buying consoles, every year. And it's like, the more there's like this realistic thought that I have is that every year a new console comes out, a new handheld, Vita, 3DS. I just keep going like, my PC can do almost everything and more than what these companies are offering. And I spent some good money on my PC, so I know that if I'm going to spend, miraculously a lot, smaller of an amount of money on a console, I need it to do something that my PC can't do, or that my PC can't emulate in some way. No matter what console it is, there's programmers out there that already emulate what the systems can do at a higher frame rate, with better graphics, So I'm kind of right now in that parallel shift of, do I keep just going PC route, or do I stick to my guns and stick with what I believe in Nintendo and Sony and those guys? And it makes me sad because it seems like all of them don't know what they're doing. That's what baffles me most. They have no idea what they're doing, and they just keep going, okay, here's a Wonder Book. Wonder Book's good for family.
Oh, God. No.
No, here's the Move. Wait, Kinect. Oh, it's Smart Glass. We're good.
Well,
we got
no. I think you're underestimating them. I think they know exactly what they're doing. This is selling peripherals for existing hardware because it's much cheaper to R&D that stuff than it is to put up a new console. They want this generation extended for as long as possible. It's not actually in their best interest to have a shift onto the next generation. How would they benefit from that? This is the most equal console generation we've ever seen. Like, I know a lot of people that own 360s and PS3s. The market is even. There is no clear winner in this console generation. That is rare. That is very rare. The previous console generation was very clearly won by PlayStation 2, followed by Xbox, GameCube way behind.
I don't want to get all conspiracy theory here, but does it seem like to anyone else that for years there was the console wars, and every console was trying to outdo the other with a bigger, better 8, 16, 64, like, oh, we have a 32-bit system, we'll make 64, right?
Yeah.
And it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they hit this generation, and they evened out, and then all competition stopped. It's like somewhere people got together and said, look, rather than fight each other, let's collude together, and we'll make the most money ever because, sure, okay, we'll have a few exclusive titles, but other than that, every game will be on every system.
Yeah, I think that when they started, it was like, we had motion control, Sony had the Blu-ray, 360 had great Xbox Online play, and now it's like with the next generation of consoles, they're all going to ultimately be the exact same thing. The only thing that makes them different is IPs, and even at that, they're just recycling the same IPs over and over again.
It's I don't view it as kind of a conspiracy. I just view it as how the market is currently working. There is no logical reason to skip over to the next generation of console because no one has a clear lead. And the longer the generation goes on, the more people will actually have both consoles in their homes because consoles become so cheap, it's worth buying a console just for an exclusive. It's, this is what Japan does. Japan buys consoles for exclusives. And
yeah, but in the end, everything is working toward more and more people just playing PC games. Like, none of them competing against each other is actually just helping the PC market. Because I used to be, when I was listening to Gerard, I used to be kind of 50-50, like 50-50 PC and console. And now I'm way more PC than I ever have been in my life, just because everything is so much better on PC.
The gap is widening in that regard as well. I mean, if you buy the top end, obviously your machine blasts everything out of the water. But the longer this goes on, the cheaper it becomes to build a PC that is more capable than a console. You don't have to spend $6,000 to do that now.
And isn't it weird that Nintendo, since we were talking about them earlier, Nintendo produces new consoles all the time, yet they still aren't even trying to surpass what already exists with 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they do that? Why don't they just go all out and make...
Because they tried that. They tried that with the GameCube, yeah? The GameCube was actually pretty meaty. If I recall correctly, power-wise, raw power, it was Xbox followed very closely by GameCube. Very closely. Console architecture is a weird thing, because it's very hard to directly compare it. And then PlayStation 2 was actually the least powerful of the lot. And did GameCube succeed as a result of raw power? No, it didn't. In fact, it came in dead last in that particular console race. And it's not the only one to have done that. This is a fairly common problem. So it's moving away from power because actually the vast majority of the sales these days don't actually seem to be about power. In fact, one could almost argue that the Wii U is not next gen. It's actually this gen. It's just really late to the party. Like, it is better than the 360 and the PS3, but not by such an appreciable amount that it's next generation.
Well, it's not, I mean, I don't think that I would necessarily say that they're trying to be next generation. They're trying to add in new innovative gameplay, right? They're always trying to add in something that people haven't done before or combining things that haven't been combined before.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not as much of a paradigm shift as their motion control was. Like, I like, don't get me wrong, I like this whole I keep forgetting what it is. Like, damn it. That asymmetrical, yes, asymmetrical gameplay. I keep thinking it's asynchronous gameplay, which doesn't make any sense. To me, it's not as big a deal as motion control was. Motion control was huge for the wrong reasons for a lot of the time. Motion control is not, it's not like great, but it was a huge shift.
Well, they advertised it as like the experience of a lifetime. Like, yes, you get to actually be Link with the sword and the shield. You get to be like that was the appeal in the beginning.
Yeah,
we all sat there. I was one of those guys right at launch. Like,
the lightsaber
I got
game.
my Wii.
That's what everyone thought the first time they heard of Wii. Oh my god, a lightsaber game. Did they pull it off? No. Not in 7 years have they managed to do anything decent with the motion control, including Kinect, I might add, in that regard.
And that's the weird thing, is that even though, like, everyone's like, oh, Nintendo did motion control, so we're going to do it too, it seems like Sony and Microsoft both got it wrong where Nintendo got it wrong too. So that's why I think they went with that new gimmick idea of, all right, well, we did motion control, we have the casual gamer, now let's go with a new gimmick, a new kind of thing. That's what Nintendo's been all about the past few years. They're all about one-upping in a way that the other companies can't, Well, you have the PSP, we now have the 3DS. You've got, Sony PS3 Blu-ray player. Okay, we got the Wii U with this cool, controller pad.
Is it weird that I think gaming has become so mainstream that, like, remember when, like, the nerdy kid in school was the one with the Nintendo, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's like every college dorm, every frat has some gaming console.